What's up, guys? This is Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm here today at Ferman Dodge in Wesley Chapel. Chris and Christina has given us this 2020 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat Redeye Widebody. MSRP on this triple nickel starts at $58,995. Powered by your V8 6.2 liter supercharged with high output. 797 horsepower with 707 pound-feet of torque. Matted to an 8-speed automatic transmission, getting 13 to 21 miles per gallon. This has your black hood pin kit from Mopar, 220 mile per hour speedo. We're gonna go over all the specs and details, starting now. Muscle car in today's world, the FCA engineer were set out to design the most powerful Dodge engine ever, and that's what they've done. When you get the Hellcat Redeye, it's going to have even more horsepower than your regular Hellcat. 5743 on the weight distribution. You have the wide body kit on the vehicle, flaring out the fenders. And this is definitely the kit that I would do, especially for this particular vehicle, helping with the cornering. The ground clearance, 4.5 inches, which is really good because you still have this lower spoiler, but you could go over speed bumps, which helps very well. The height of 57.2 inches, width of 64 inches. This one has your Mopar black pins, so it gives a nice heritage to the old school Challengers. Dual scoop hood, which feeds that big V8 6.2 liter supercharged engine. And in the egg crate grill, the same thing goes. They even had to bore this out here to have more air to go inside. Street legal with the black key, bad boy with the red key, set with your 20-inch wheels, carbon black aluminum, 305/35 on all four corners, 11 inches wide, which is insane. Wide body kit, that's just going to help stress the pursuit of horsepower, which is what Dodge is doing. Set with your Brembo brakes, 6-piston calipers, 2-piece rotor, 15.4 the disc reading in the front, 13.8 on the rear. You're going to have your Bilstein shock absorbers, short and long arm with coil springs in the front, multi-link with coil springs in the rear. This has your competition suspension, your adaptive damping, so you're ready to do any type of performance, whether on the road or on the track. The length at 197.5 inches, a wheelbase at 116.2 inches. What I like that they've done is they don't stress Redeye everywhere. They just put a little dot here to show you that this is the Hellcat Redeye. SRT performance spoiler is what you're getting with this. I like that it's matted out. It really does sit the tone to the rear, because this triple nickel, you need something to offset it, and doing a matte black instead of a high gloss, I think that's the best way to do it. I do like that they put the high gloss in between it, so it gives a contrast look to it. You got your LED taillights, so the vehicle just sets a nice presence with your dual chrome exhaust tips. They're rectangular. I wish they kind of protrude a little bit more because this is nearly 800 horsepower. The way it's set up is nice. Maybe add a diffuser in between. It's pretty much the only things that I would say. You got your parking sensors, your camera, going inside to your cargo at 16.2 cubic feet. You could put the rear seats down at a 60/40 fold. What I like about the Challenger so much, the cargo space is amazing. For a near 800 horsepower vehicle and you have this much storage, it's insane. Let's start this thing up and hear how it sounds. styling of this muscle car just sets it apart from any other vehicle. Blacked out throughout the side, the triple nickel, definitely a color combination that I would put with this vehicle. And I like how sleek it is with the line structure. It goes nice, and then it has kind of a flare upwards, giving it nice for those fenders that flare out. I just want to show you some more details about how crazy this engine is. I like that we have the Mopar pin kit, which is what this is. You pull those little pins there and you open and reveal your 6.2 liter supercharged SRT Hellcat Redeye Widebody engine. Let me know in the comments what you think about this vehicle from the exterior as we go into the interior, go over the tech, and then take this for our test run. Entering inside this Hellcat Redeye, you're going to be getting 39.3 inches of headspace, 42 inches of leg space, which is quite a bit and is really nice because someone like me can fit in the vehicle, and even if you're 2 to 5 inches taller, I don't think you'll have any issues at all. Laguna leather, that's the package we have here. The front seats, 10-way power adjustment with 4-way lumbar support for the driver, 4-way for the passenger. This has your Plus package, which adds ventilated front seats, that premium stitch work that's through the dash and through the door panels. You'll also have the SRT logos embroidered in the seats, which makes a nice little pop. Upgraded Harman Kardon, 18 speakers are in this system here. You're going to have your subwoofers and your amplifier. 8.4 Uconnect. You got the pinch, you got the swipe, you got your SRT performance page, SRT configurable driving, so you could have it drive, soft and easy, or you could have it ready for the track. You also have that in the gauge cluster. 220 mile per hour is what this thing registers at. On the speedo, if you go through here, like we were saying, you have your performance page. That package is inside your gauge cluster. So your 0 to 60 timer, your 0 to 100, you got your 1/8 mile timer, your 1/4, brake distance, G-force, peak G-force, lap time, lap history, top speed. Every reaction that you need is in this gauge cluster. I really do like the gauge cluster, the carbon fiber inlays, power telescoping wheel, which is a really nice touch because you don't really see that much in a vehicle that has nearly 800 horsepower. Leather wrapped, perforated leather on the side, so it gives a little bit of a grip. You got the contrast stitching in white, cross stitching, and it really sets it apart with the black interior look. The paddle shifters, SRT does a great job. These are nice and big and beefy, easy, which you'll see on the test drive. In the center, you have your SRT button here that can change the driver mode. You have your launch control button here, or you can do it through your infotainment. Either way, it has your launch assist, which you want this because this vehicle nearly has 800 horsepower. So to keep it from hopping and try to keep it straight, just put that assist on there so it'll help you. 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot, Sirius XM. Open up inside here to your 2 USB auxiliary 12 volt and your Dodge Brothers badging. Really nice little area. You have 2 cup holders, which you can fit probably a 20-ounce cup. On the door panel, soft for both on the elbows. Don't have to worry about that. One touch up and down for all the windows. You got an area that you can put probably a 20-ounce or a 32-ounce big gulp, Slurpee, whatever. If you want to do any Doritos, just put it on the passenger side next to your 12 volt, which will have your radar detector, because it just makes it easier to line it up on that side. The glove box, it's a 2-tier, plenty of space. I like the SRT badging that's on the dash underneath the side vent. Let's check out the back seat. The back seat, 37.1 inches of headspace, 33.1 inches of leg space. Not necessarily a lot of amenities back here. You can fit 3 people. It's gonna be a little tight. You'll have to move the seats up in the front a bit, but honestly, nice and comfortable, both on the armrest area, cup holders, air vents, a little bit of storage behind the front seats. Let's see how I look in the center. So this definitely would be a 4-seat vehicle if need be, but for 5 people, it's gonna be a little tough, especially if you're over 6 foot tall. Fitting 2 in the back is not necessarily too uncomfortable. You do have a little storage area here that you could probably put a drink as well if you didn't need to put these armrests down, but fitting 3 would be a little tight. Click into your apps. This will show you for the controls here for your ventilated, heated seats, heated steering wheel. If you click into the apps, this will show you the SRT dashboard. You can click into that. This can change the different driving modes in the vehicle, and you can just see everything the way it is. You can also change things right there on the fly, and it tells you exactly what it's doing, so it's really nice. You can exit out of that, and you can scroll over here to the performance page, which gives you every single analytic that you would need whenever you're on the track. The home page for the SRT performance page shows your powers. You can also click for your timers, and this will record everything, and you can do everything via through an SD card as well. You can go into your gauges here so you can just see everything very intuitive. Your G-force, the engine, and your dyno, which is alive. So as you see, I push the gas, it shows you. Also, whenever you're clicking into the engine, you can see it here. It'll show you your pound-feet of torque and your horsepower. You can do your climate control on here. Very simple, dual climate control, or you can do it via through your knobs, which is a really nice touch. You don't have to do everything through that 8.4 Uconnect. Taking this hell of a vehicle out, 797 horsepower. It's really nice to have the ability to get this muscle car vehicle with this much power, because we're in a time where they're shrinking the engines, and Dodge is just like, let's engineer the biggest, most powerful engine ever. Just really nice. For 2021, there isn't really any significant differences. So the ride on the vehicle so far, it does feel very strong, just like a muscle car. The dual scoop hood is really huge and it's very long, but it helps so you can see pretty much the front of your vehicle, because it's a longer vehicle in the front and the way you sit in the vehicle is a little bit back. So it's definitely proportioned a little bit more unique. I got everything in sport mode. Driving it as a normal day base vehicle, I like the exhaust note. It sounds really good and throaty. And you know, the way everything's proportioned, you're gonna hear some wind noise, but it isn't really that bad. Going 50, 60 miles an hour, you don't really hear anything. Pushing anything onto the Uconnect, very simple. Everything's pretty much laid out where it needs to be. Blind spots, there is a few blind spots behind the driver's seat, obviously, because the back window, it's huge. It's just the way it's kind of set up in proportion. You're gonna have a couple of blind spots, but you have the blind spot sensors, and 0 to 60, 3.5, 3.6 seconds, Brembo brakes, so you got all performance. You don't really need to worry about having any issues with the blind spot. Turn radius is what we're gonna check now. This has the wide body kit. Doesn't necessarily make it easier for turning. Seeing how it is, you get about 1.5 lanes, give it some throttle. Oh yeah, you hear that, wow. It is so nice. And you know a Dodge Challenger Hellcat by the way that supercharge just whines. It is amazing. Definitely a feel like no other, and it's a smooth transition. These tires, all four corners 11-inch wide. You're ready for the road. I'm gonna do a little wrap around here, make sure we got it into sport mode, we got it at full power. Another nice thing is you can up or decrease the horsepower. I'm gonna give her a little go now. Here she goes. And that wind all the way through. I like the red seat belts that we have on the vehicle. It gives a nice sporty touch to it as well. You don't really hear any wind noise because you're just so excited of that 6.2 supercharged V8 Hemi engine. It is amazing. Something that you should definitely get a chance to drive one, do it. This is something that you want to keep in your garage. We're going to take this back to Ferman, Dodge, and Wesley Chapel, go over the reverse camera, and wrap this review up. We do have trajectory and we do have sensor functionality, as you can hear it. And when you look on the gauge cluster, you can see those sensors. I'd like to thank Christina and Chris here at Ferman, Dodge, and Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2020 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat Redeye Widebody for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, click that subscribe button, check out the details, the merchandise, and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.